So good morning everyone. Today is Sunday the 10th of May. We are all gathering this time to do this morning chanting, to show our respect to the Buddha for his kindness and compassion. And we are very fortunate to have this opportunity to learn and practice the Dhamma despite we are born after 2600 years later of the Buddha. Today's Dhamma explanation. I would like to explain on the 7 good qualities of a person. It's called a Sappurisa Dhamma. Number 1 called Dhammanutta, which means one who knows causes. Like one who knows the causes for happiness and the causes for suffering. So that's called a Dhammanutta. Dhammanyutta. And the second one, Attanyutta, which means one knows the effect. And here, effects means one who knows that happiness is the result of the specific cause, and one knows that the suffering is the result of a specific cause. And the third one is Attanyutta. That means one knows oneself, or one knows one's own social position, personal disposition, level of knowledge, skill, virtue, and so on, and one behaves accordingly. The third one is Mattanyutta. This is the important principle or the virtue or qualities. One knows the moderation. One practices this moderation when seeking out material objects and earning a livelihood. One practices balanced consumptions. Fifth one is one knows time, or a Kalanyutta. One knows the proper time for undertaking a particular activity, especially speaking about the truth to somebody. And the seventh one is Parisanyutta, one who knows the society. One who knows the appropriate conduct in regards to a specific community, and one knows the suitable time to speak and take actions, and these actions should be performed in regards to the such communities. And a 7, one knows persons, which is also means understand other people. It's called a Puggalanyutta. So one knows whether one should associate with a particular person or not. So these are the 7 qualities of the good person, called a Sappurisa Dhamma, that the Buddha explained. So Sappurisa Dhamma is a qualities of a good person, or also can be understood as the qualities that make a good person. Because Purisa means person, Sap means, or Sup means good, or virtuous, or well-mannered person. Someone who is a well-mannered person, whenever that person needs to speak, or whenever that person needs to do things or even to think about, always think in line with the Dhamma. So that it won't cause a problem to himself, herself, or the other people, other person. So that's why these are the 7 Dhammas, known as the Sappurisa Dhamma. Now when we say that the first one, the Dhammanyutta, or knows the cause of any actions, then that simply means that one who knows the truth of a causality, understand the law of karma, such as for instance, one knows that doing good is the cause for happiness and doing bad is the cause for the suffering. That's called Kalayanam va papakam va tasadaya do bhavisati. We are the heir to those actions. Not only that, one understands the properties that one should have to gain the happiness and the prosperity, and one also able to calculate the effects and the specific actions that one has chosen to do or chosen to avoid. This Dhammanyutta is very important part of the qualities that each one of us should have. If not, then one would be committing things regardless of any concerns of whatever is coming to be. And that leads to the second one, that's the Attanyutta. Attanyutta is the effect of any actions that one has done. So one who knows the objectives and the desired benefits, one who knows the result stemming from the causes, one has ability to accurately investigate into those causes. And here, our happiness and the suffering is actually the actions that we have performed, the causes that we have created, and conditions that we have manifested. So causes and conditions that we have performed previously, that leads to the happiness and the suffering, which we can see that if we are happy now, then there must be a good cause that we have planted, and that is the core of the result, that we are having a happiness. And at the same time, when we are unhappy, then obviously we may have planted the wrong causes that cause or that effects of our unhappiness, whether that's a physical unhappiness or whether that's a mental unhappiness. If that's a physical happiness, such as if we eat something that really upsets our tummy, then we become sick. And further on, if we are taking substance that affects to our physical body, then again it will affect later on, and we will experience different physical problems or sufferings. So knowing that is the regarded as one who knows these as the Sappurisa, or a good person. Sometimes people, despite knowing the cause, yet unable to change due to the sensual pleasures. that person is not regarded as the good person, because that person is under the impression of the sensual pleasure. So whether the happiness or unhappiness, whether the praise and the fame, or whether the success and a gain, all are result of a moral conduct that we practice. That moral practice that we have in our day-to-day life, then that defines a good person. And Atanyuta is understands our own self. Now this is very important. Oftentimes we do not understand ourselves. And which is the reason we have troubles. Whereas if we understand ourselves, then we understand our social positions, personal disposition, level of knowledge and skills, virtues, and so on. When we understand and behaves accordingly, and including knowing how to bring about improvement to our own life, that is important. Which is the reason the Buddha also said that atta hi attano nato. We are the boss, we are our own boss, no one else. Further on, the Buddha said that atta dipo bhava. We have to be light to ourselves, so that we see things clearly and we lead our life properly. Further on, understanding that when we are living in a community, one who knows who is senior and who is junior, and someone who is senior in the community should be related to the subordinate by way of respecting and also practicing the four sublime dhammas, the loving kindness, compassion, and joy, and equanimity in all means possible, in every way possible, which helps ourselves as well as to the others. So knowing oneself is one of the important tasks in a Buddhist practice that the Buddha taught about. All the practices is again about knowing ourselves, knowing our body, knowing our mind, and how these two things works. The very moment when we understand both, then we are liberated. So knowing oneself, a person who knows oneself is also a good person. And further on, the fourth one is called the Matanyuta. Matanyuta is a moderation. Now this particular current world, we have to practice this quite a bit. So understanding the optimum amount in all matters. Like for example, when seeking out, obtaining, or consuming material things, one doesn't spend money extravagantly beyond one's means. Like monks knows the limitations and moderation beyond one's means. Knows the moderation in regards to the receiving and using all the four requisites. As a result, we always reflect on that. Similarly, as a householder, one knows moderation in regards to the spending money in order to sustain oneself by following the sufficient economy or philosophy of the sufficient economy, understanding ways to spend money. and not overindulged sensual indulgence, but a moderation in consumptions in all means. This is very important nowadays. Not only the consumption of the things and buying things, but also social use, social media use also need to be moderation. That's one of the tasks that the Buddha spoke about, saying that one who knows the moderation of the consumptions, anything, that person is one of the qualities of a good person. And further on, the fifth one is a kalanyata, is knowing the time. Sometimes people think that they have true news, and then they will speak it out, regardless of the community, regardless of time, whether the proper or improper, regardless of what. But they just think that they hold the truth, so they can speak at any time, anywhere, regardless of a concerning of anyone. That's not a good person. I remember when my brother died, my father was just about to have a lunch, and someone came and gave a news. But this man was a good man, so he, rather than speak out straight away, waited until my father had a meal and then told the news. Which again I remember all the time. As a result, whenever I am dropping off somebody, I always wait for someone to enter or at least open the door. Similarly, there was one occasion one lady was visiting a temple and I dropped her off about after evening chanting, and I thought that she could go in because I saw she went in through the gate. But later I found that she could not get in because her daughter locked her out unknowingly. Her daughter thought that she is inside because there wasn't a key on a regular place. And then later I went back again and called a daughter. The daughter received the call, and I spoke to her saying that how are you, rather than giving the news straight that she has left her mum outside, and asked her where is her mum. So she went out to check her mum's room and realized that there isn't her mum. So then I told her that mum is with me, like that. So knowing the kala or the time to speak, time to share is very important. Similarly, when we look at the Buddha's stories, whenever Buddha visits different people in different times, Buddha didn't speak. He waits until they spoke, or he waits until they finished their talk. Even someone who came to shout or angrily blame him in front of communities, while even he was giving a talk, and Chinchamanavika came and said that you have no right, you made me pregnant and you do not look after me, and so on. The Buddha patiently waits for the proper time. And similarly, when somebody is talking, rather than interrupting, we should be learning to wait for that moment to speak, or any a gap, or even ask after that, asking for the permission to speak, such as like that. So there's so many details in it. The kalanyuta, having the knowledge to know when to speak, or when to do, when to perform, when to act. And that's that's also a qualities of the good person. And then further on, we also have to know the community where we are belong, so called the Parisanyutta. So the knowledge about the community or the society, whom to associate with. So one who knows the organizations or community, society or place for the interaction, and knows the guidance and the regulations and customs of such communities, and adapts to them appropriately, and speaking out in a proper way to that community. We have a very diverse community here in our center. In order to accommodate everyone, we have adapted our own way of a practice, so accommodating all the community backgrounds. So whenever we are performing, as a result, try not to affect to other communities or the everyone. So when we are attending, as a result, everybody feels a part of it, not excluded. More inclusiveness is there. Now, despite of that, there are some kind of gossips or stories goes on that our temple is not the Thai, nor Sri Lankan, nor Nepalese, and it's very different. So sometimes, as a result, these communities do not come. Like here again, saying that Ajahn is not Thai, so there are very few Thai comes. At the same time, our Sri Lankan community think that this temple follows Thai, and then they don't come. They don't feel comfortable with the cultures like that. And then similarly, I heard yesterday our Nepalese community also, they say that they don't understand the culture like that. So despite of these difficulties, we are trying our best to make a standardized culture here, accommodating everyone, and trying to bring together for the one goal, to study the Dhamma and practice. Strangely enough, we have been successful so far to accommodating everyone, and that probably we are trying to follow the Buddhist path rather than the individual cultures of any particular person. Although we are trying to practice that I have learned and practiced as in Thailand, but again we are not following entirely the Thai culture, but just the Buddhist culture we are following, which is common to all. So this is the reason probably why we have so many diverse community coming together and practicing, and our Thai communities are one of the biggest members that are supporting to maintain our center. Most of the financial support that we receive from this community, and we are very grateful. And we have different communities coming together to support and help, and with that we are growing, we are learning the community. So, but my message would be, rather than just thinking of a cultural part, I would encourage everyone to learn the Dhamma and practice the Dhamma, even though just for a few moments. Whenever you're coming to the center, I would encourage you to at least go and pay respect to the Buddha. Or even when you're taking your children to the center, before you're doing any other activities, it would be good if you encourage, if you take them to the Buddha and pay respect. like in other religion. In Hinduism, whenever you enter, first thing they will do is to pay respect to the gods. In Sikhism, in Islam, and Christianity too. And after that, they will participate on any other activities. Similarly, if we can do that, that will be very beneficial for the children in the future to come. So understanding the community called Parisanyuta, or knowing which community to associate that benefits us and then a community and our members of a community, is also qualities of a good person. And then the last one, which is I normally say that we have to accept, respect and value everyone regardless of their background, regardless of the nature and behavior. Always take them as example, and understanding their upbringing, understanding their quality, understanding their capability, and respecting them as they are. That's called a Pukkalanyutta, or knowing other people and their nature and their behaviors, and and then also understanding whom to associate and whom to distance. So that's also one of the qualities that of a good person, which is the reason why Buddha clearly laid down in the highest blessings. The first beginning of the basic blessings comes from disassociation with the foolish one, or someone who we should not be associate, and associate with the wise one. So this is the basic fundamental that leads to the further blessings in our life, and also furthering to the cultivation of vision and liberation. So these are the 7 qualities that indicates who is a virtuous person or a good person. A practitioner endowed with these qualities gain insight into various circumstances, and perfectly enlightened the Buddhas and wheel-turning monarchs are also endowed with these qualities, enabling them to successfully proclaim the Dhamma. So when we know these qualities, one of the important or most important important quality would be the first one. It's called a Dhammanyutta, because all things in the world arise from cause and ceases from the cause, and this is the main teachings of the Buddha too. The moment when we understand this cause and effects, then we will be more conscious about any action that we are performing, and anywhere we are associating that leads to the effective endeavor for the success in our life, and also leading to the successful spiritual gain and liberation. So I end here for today. Let's do the chanting.